Guys, welcome back to our channel. So if you're new, just hit the subscribe button right at this moment before we get started. So in today's video we are going to create this mini acrylic landscape, and for this I'm going to be using a 400 GSM acrylic paper in the size A6. You can use any watercolor paper or acrylic paper or canvas. Would suggest you to use these papers only so that it can absorb and hold the acrylic colors without bending or getting folded or creating any damage to your painting or your paper. The next thing that we would need are acrylic colors in the 5 shades, which are the cobalt blue, the crimson shade, the cadmium hue yellow, and titanium white, and the shade black. And the brushes that I'm using are the most favorite brushes of mine, which is the Brewster Gold Tacklon brushes. So we would be needing 2 flat brushes, 1 round brush, and another brush that we would be needing is a miniature round brush. Again, it's a Brewster miniature round brush. So these are my most favorite brushes, and they're really affordable and really great for acrylic painting. So you can check the description box below for all the material details and also procure them from there. So let's get started with today's painting. Guys, the things that we are going to do today is I'm using a 400 GSM acrylic paper in the size A6, and I have taped it down. The colors that I would be using is the titanium white, the cobalt blue, the crimson, the cadmium hue yellow, and the color black. So these are the 5 colors that we will be needing in today's session. So let's get started. So what I'm doing is, with the help of white brush and a bit of the cobalt blue, I'm mixing it with a bit of the titanium white to create a very light sky blue color. The next thing that I'm doing is, keeping my palette aside, I am taking the mixture and applying it in a horizontal movement and bringing it down. I'm not using any waters on my acrylic, just the moist brush. So be sure that the water quantity that you're using is not too much and it doesn't turn transparent in any form. I'm bringing down the mixture somewhat halfway down on my paper, and then I'm slowly adding a bit of titanium white at the extreme end, and with just the tip of my brush blending it very gently. I'm adding more titanium white as we move downwards and keep on the blending motion. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm switching to a much smaller flat brush, and again I'm starting with using the titanium white itself. And what I'm doing is quickly mixing a bit of my crimson with my cobalt blue and creating a very nice purplish tone to it. I'm adding a bit of titanium white to this as well, so that it softens up and doesn't turn into very dark violetish tone, but to a smooth soft purplish tone. I'm just mixing a bit of very tiny bit of cadmium hue yellow, and what I'm doing is I'm starting right from the bottom of my paper and moving it towards the upward direction. Same way, I'm just using a moist brush and no amount of water is added. Again, as we move towards the upper region, I'm going to add the titanium white and keep on blending the color. If somewhere you face that your brush is getting stuck, just dip your brush in tiny bit of water and then again start on the blending. This way you won't hamper your acrylics, but you will still have very nice smooth blend in your acrylic background. Keeping adding titanium white as I move towards the upper region and meet on the half of the cobalt blue mixture that we had made. Again, I'm just switching to the bigger brush that I had been using for my cobalt blue mixture and taking it with the cobalt mixture and a bit of titanium mixture and using that mixture to blend in this mid area. Again, I'm just using the tip of my brush, and to blend in the middle, I'm using the titanium white. Don't be afraid to blend in both the colors together and form a new color. That is how we need to go and move forward with. And I'm just pulling my brush with the titanium hue towards the middle or the bottom half. Slowly adding the purple tone that we had created in the bottom half so that the blend retains. Again, as and when you notice that your brush is getting stuck and it has dried up, use a bit of water at the tip and then you're good to go. And here we have a very nice smooth blend. Now I'm taking up my palette once again and switching to a small round brush to the purple mixture that we had created and adding a bit of yellow and a bit of crimson and trying to turn it into and form a brownish tone. I'm just going to add a bit of blue, cobalt blue to it to turn it to a darker way. And I have a grayish brown tone here which I'm gonna use to form a layer of mountains here or like a hilly region, a piece of land. Apply over the top of it. For the land, I'm using a lighter tone because we are gonna show up a bit of a darker object which is more closer to our eyes. So following the color perspective theory, the light color of the distant land would be much lighter to the object near us. Just roughly building a land portion. I'm gonna let it dry for a few seconds before I add another layer. After a few seconds, the next thing that I'm doing is I'm taking up a bit of black, mixing it with my moist brush so that it doesn't form any lumps. And with that, what I'm doing is I'm taking up and forming a tree-like structure which moves from thin to broader as it goes down. Keep in mind that you cover up the edges, otherwise once you remove off your masking tape, it won't look nice. I'm thickening up and making it more broader as I'm moving downwards. I'm just using again the tip of my brush to create this outside leaf-like structures to give this tree a shape. forming it somewhat like a triangular shape and making it broader as I'm moving downwards, leaving a bit of gaps here and there. Adding it adds to the naturalness of the tree a bit more, but make sure when you're right around the edges, around the masking tape, you fill it up. Otherwise, again, like I said, you will have unnecessary marks, gappings here. Being as random as I can for this one and not like giving too much, just a bit of definition towards the outer region to make it look natural. This, and I'm just adding a few bit of the shapes in the bottom half, keeping in mind the shape of my tree and making it seem like it has merged with the bushes down below. Again, making sure that you have completely filled in the edges. And I'm done with the bushes. Now, just taking a bit of white aside and very little amount of my cadmium hue. I am mixing it out with my white, keeping the white section more and the yellow less on the lesser half. Mixing it very gently and with a very thin round brush. And just make sure it's completely dried out before you place your hand, and at this around 1/3 area I'm just adding a little dot to form the sun. Move your round brush in circular motion. You can also use just the back side of your thin round brush to add this. After I'm done adding this little spot, I'm gonna let it dry for another bit, and then again just using the thinner round brush and taking a bit of black in my brush, I'm gonna make very little V-shaped structures to form the distant birds. I'm gonna add much, very few. Like this, and we are done here with a very simple sunset painting. So I'm just gonna remove off the masking tape. Again, while removing the masking tape, keep in mind that you take up the masking tape and just twist it towards your side and then pull so that it's away from the paper and doesn't hamper your paper at all. Always pull the masking tape away from your paper to avoid as much damage as it can. Like this, do not ever pull straight away like this. So once you're done, you will have your mini sunset painting ready. So hope you guys enjoyed this lesson with me. If you go on creating this, do tag us on our Instagram handles. We would love to see your recreation. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel right now for more such tutorials. Also let us know in the comment section or which is the most technique that you liked right at this moment, and I'll see you some other time. Till then, stay safe and keep creating.